Hey everyone, so many people asking me why I haven't made one of my walkie-talkie videos and why haven't I been posting anything, uploading anything to YouTube and Odyssey for weeks now, maybe even months. And the reason why is because I have been super focused. All of my energy, all of my intention, attention, seemingly all of my kind of waking hours really have been focused on leading a crowdfunding to acquire Cressbrook Dale estate. And yesterday, after a lot of hurdles that we had to jump as we worked our way through the kind of labyrinth, yesterday afternoon we exchange completed, and so here I am. Wow, I'm just absolutely over the moon, just super delighted. And some dogs coming actually. Kobe's with me. Just going to pause the video for a sec. Hold on. Dog catastrophe averted. So here I am walking the land. It's pretty much the whole of the western side of Cressbrook Dale. I'll put in some Google Earth footage so you get a much better idea. It's quite an incredible kind of vagina of land. And when you drive across here from Bakewell to Tideswell on the way to Manchester, if you know that route, there's kind of miles and miles of rolling hills, and then there's these incredible gorges of dales carved out of the landscape. And so this is the next dale along, pretty much from Monsell Head. And the land is everything from the Cressbrook, which runs obviously through the centre of the dale, up to the skyline. And the land runs pretty much from the bottom of the village, kind of goes to a point at the bottom of Cressbrook village near Cressbrook Mill. And it continues probably, I'd say at least a mile north, then is bordered by the Cressbrook Dale Nature Reserve, if you've ever walked there. So there's a little bridge over into the nature reserve, but the actual forest goes on probably for another quarter of a mile on the western bank of the Cressbrook. So it's an absolutely phenomenal piece of land, and it manifested in the most magical way because we tried to buy a farm last year, a Fallinge farm out at Roseley, and it kind of fell through. After a lot of effort, and it was a bit of a nightmare, but it was a massive learning process. And after that fell through, we had a community of about 33 of us who, it kind of disintegrated a bit, you know, it was like a souffle collapsing. But there was a small group of women who held the vision and just thought, we're just going to keep visioning this and energizing this, and we met every week. And we didn't do lots of kind of searching and hunting for property. We just kept visioning what we wanted to manifest. And then suddenly, through our stand in the park, through Bev, the incredible Bev at Stand in the Park Bakewell, who knew the manager of Stanton Estate, Adrian Thornhill, who is the son of the Lord of the Manor, Lord Thornhill, Lord of the Stanton Manor. Yeah, they basically said they had this land that they never known what to do with, and would we be interested in buying it? Just going to give you a little bit of a view here. There's some bird watchers over there. Might just go and say hello. But you can see. So basically there's some steep parts and there's some kind of plateaus. And so it's very beautiful. It's very interesting land. So there's kind of plateaus of land, and then the land drops away, and then there's other plateaus. And acres, there's about 50 acres of forest and 20 acres of pasture land. So it's all very interesting. And yeah, I'm going to just pause this again, and I'll pick up in a sec. Just going to go and say hello to those people. As it's just coming on to rain, I've come down to the lower part of the land to be a little bit careful here because it's a little bit wet. It's been raining over the past few days. And this is the land which runs alongside the Cressbrook, the deep in the heart of Cressbrook Dale, and I'm headed towards the Ravensdale cottages, if you know those cottages, which is 12 workers' cottages, which were built by the owners of the Cressbrook mill in Victorian times. And they're sweet little 2 up, 2 down cottages, and they were built at the foot of the Ravensdale springs. And those springs originally supplied the entire village of Cressbrook with all of its water until the Victorians found a way to pump water. And then, of course, Severn Trent now supply mains water to Cressbrook. But there is natural spring water on this land. I'm actually going to fill some bottles up later. We haven't tested it for drinking, but I'm going to use it for boiling, for making tea for now, until we've tested it. I normally get my water actually from Buxton, from the Lion's Head. So I'll go and fill a couple of dozen bottles up there every week or so. And yeah, so it's beautiful to have natural water on the land, as well as the brook itself, which dries up in the summer, but in the winter months is quite fast flowing. This beautiful river here. It's a brook really, and it joins the River Wye up. So it's, yes, super beautiful, but it is very interesting. I mean, if you have tried to pull together a community of any kind, whether it's a stand in the park or a local freedom group or an eco community, or try to do any crowdfunding, you will know what a challenge it is, because what it really requires is, I mean, there's a lot of people who are very flash in the pan. They kind of go off with a firework, like, yeah, definitely, I want to be part of it. And then it kind of very quickly, the enthusiasm very quickly evaporates and wanes. And there's not many people who are good marathon runners. And I have to say one thing about me, without wishing to sound an ego or blowing my own trumpet, is I'm very, very good at sustaining motivation and focus over a very long period of time, which is kind of all you really need, you know. If you're, for example, creating a business or creating a community or acquiring something or doing any kind of big project, it takes commitment and staying power and the ability to stay focused and motivated over a very long period of time. Like most businesses take a good 18 months to kind of come into profit, and this whole eco community project, from the inception in kind of January 2021, here we are in June 2022, so pretty much 18 months later, and here we are having actually acquired it. But a lot of people went through that process. I mean, probably getting on for 100 people went through that process, and we ended up with 22 people who actually energized this first wave. And one of the really amazing things, which was a really beautiful aspect, because we were dealing with a very awakened son of the Lord of the Manor, who's fully awake to the program and jabs and what's going on, and very kind of consciously aware and enlightened. We agreed to acquire it over 2 years to give us lots of time to raise the necessary funding. So although we've exchanged completed, we have negotiated ourselves 24 months to actually settle the entire purchase price, which gives us the luxury of time. And what it means is we only went out to get that first 22 people. We only went out to a very, very small group of people. Basically, everyone who came to the Buxton event, everyone who'd signed up to the Inner Sanctum information, so a few hundred people there, and also people who'd signed up to the Rachel Speaks Out Zoom webinars. So it only went out to a very small number of people, and we kind of deliberately kept it quite secret. And that really helps with manifestation, to only go to like-minded people, because this is a sort of, if you've ever done any sort of active manifestation, law of attraction work, you will know that it actually is quite a good idea to keep things to a very small group of aligned people who love you and want the best for you and will support you. Because if you go out too far wide to people who maybe don't have your best interests at heart, you can add a lot of negative energy, like that'll never happen, that's a stupid idea, what a ridiculous project, you'll never fund that, no one will be interested, blah 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 blah. So it's really unhelpful to have negative energy in a project when you're trying to manifest something. So that's just my little tip to you. So if people aren't aligned to it or aren't 100% really enthusiastic, it's really good that they're not involved, because they tend to be a drag on the energy. So the really beautiful thing is, at the heart of this we have 22 very beautiful, energized souls, heart-centered souls, and a huge gratitude to them. Also huge gratitude to my Phoenix Rose sisters, who held the vision after the farm fell through. So at the heart of this there's actually a pentacle of wise women, and it's really good to have a small core mandala who really love one another, actually really love one another, and that is unconditional love. In other words, we all accept one another unconditionally, no judgment, no trying to fix one another or change one another, or you're not good enough or blah blah blah. Just bonding together over time, and just really connected and energized to be at the heart of this magical creation. So that has been really wonderful, and you know, it's nature is showing us this the whole time, you know, that a seed, a very tiny seed or a very tiny acorn, can grow into a massive oak tree and can ultimately plant an entire forest. But the purity is in the seed. So the purer the seed at the heart of it, the purer the intention and the love at the heart of it, is kind of like a little torus field, little core vortex of energy. So I have to thank my Phoenix Rose sisters, Angela, Anne, Layla and Mog, for being with me to really energize this manifestation. So you can see we're deep in the Dale. This is the Cressbrook. It's dried up. You can see that's where it normally runs. And when we first came here in January, the trees were completely bare and it was just super muddy, and like you couldn't walk it without wellies on. But it's just come into its own. I mean, look at all this beautiful greenery. It's like, let me show you the skies. Oops, a daisy. My phone's too heavy. Just give you a little taster. And then up there, hopefully, you can see. Maybe not. Maybe my camera's not quite good enough, but hopefully you can see through the trees. I'll get a better view in a second. The Ravens Cliff on the other side of the Dale. A stunning scenery. It really is a piece of land of outstanding natural beauty. So we feel very, very blessed to have manifested it. So that's what I've been doing over the past weeks and months, and I really hope that you will come and visit us sometime at Cressbrook Dale. It's such a stunning, beautiful place of natural beauty and peace and stillness, and a place just to unplug and detox from the insanity pantomime that is unfolding in the world right now. So we have a real opportunity here to create a template for a different way of being, in harmony with the land, self-sustaining, creating a food forest, supporting the entire community, and really tuning out and tuning in and restoring our connection to Mother Nature. So sending you so much love. Bye for now.